I lost 180 pounds, and here's what I ate today to shed 12 regained pounds. Boo. Fun fact, when I got this car in 2023, it had 9,000 miles on it. Now it's got 22223. So I've driven 13,000 miles in 2 years. That's one of the benefits of living so close to work. You guys, it feels... Oh, you're over here. Dang it, I like you better over there. Hang on. I can't put you over there because there's a... Oh, wait, maybe I could... Hang on. Yeah, that works. I'm just used to... Anyway, it's a Terri thing. So, I am so hungry today. But instead of eating out at our picnic table, I really wanted to eat in my car. I'm so stinking cold. I just can't stand it. I have my heater going in there. But, so today, what I brought, I've kind of been trying to get through some of the, and by the way, no macros today. I'm trying to work through some of the burgers and things that I have, like in my freezer that have already been cooked up. And I couldn't do macros because I don't know if this is an 80-20 burger, a 93% burger. I have no idea. So it was a burger patty. Oh, and then I've got some, I love the bread and butter and no sugar added sweet pickles. And something I've been doing is buying zucchini and chopping it up and putting it in the juice. I like the texture of zucchini better than cucumber. I don't know, I'm weird. So this is a burger with cheese and then ketchup and a little bit of barbecue sauce and some no sugar added pickles and some sugar sweet pickles and no sugar added bread and butter pickles and did I say a piece of cheese? I don't know. So let me give you an update. I am going to go ahead and crack my door. But we're going to eat our salad first, and then I'll give you an update. Please don't spill on me. Please don't spill. Don't pill. Please don't pill. Don't pill. Oh, yeah, buddy. Yeah. I smell them onions. Oh, my stars and garters. It's going to be so good. Hang on. I don't know you people. I just need to take a bite. I got it. I got to. And then I'll update ya. You people will just never understand. Some of you might. I think some of you people that aren't like foodaholics, I just don't know if you'll ever understand. I'm telling you, that's so good. Make me want to slap Judy. Judy, she ain't been watching. Her bestie's in town, so they've been hanging out. So she's like, Terri, who? Hang on just a second. Okay, one of my folks texted me. Anyway, so I've told y'all I'd keep y'all in the loop. This weekend I still had some chest pain. It was less. I put a 3. So yeah, for context, I've been wearing a nicotine patch to help with my COVID symptoms, my long-term COVID symptoms. My sense of taste and smell has been messed up since I had COVID. But so I followed a protocol. Don't do what I do. I'm a nurse. I'm not your nurse. So this is the typical, talk to your doctor before you do it. Anyway, so I had worn a 7 milligram patch, which is the lowest dose, for about a month. And then, and things started coming back and things are doing good. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm ready to stop now. Well, I went down to a 5 milligram, and a couple days after, maybe it was about a week afterwards, I started having those heart issues because I've been kind of thinking of the timeline. So I started having the heart squeezing and stuff. It was about a week after I'd gone to a 5. And then I didn't go down to the next step or anything. I just went from a 5 to nothing. So my anxiety was shooting through the roof. The pain got worse. And this weekend, Saturday morning, I decided to put on a 3.5, because you have to cut them to make them. But anyway, so I decided to put on a 3 milligram, and things were getting a little bit better. And then yesterday I still put on 3. I still had the squeezing and stuff, but it wasn't as long and it wasn't as intense. So this morning I put on a 3 and I was still having, I'm like, maybe you dropped to a 3 too fast. And so I put back a 5. It's 5.25. So I put that on. So, or maybe 5.5, whatever it is. It's a 21 patch cut into 4s. So 5 point something. And so I have that on. And so today I've not had, as I've had it on a little bit longer, I've not had any chest issues. I've not had any anxiety issues. Things have been better. So, I do see my cardiologist, nurse practitioner at 3:30. And, so I'll talk to her about it. Hang on. Sorry, I had to blow my nose. But anyway, my mood is feeling better. My anxiety is feeling better. The chest pain is gone. So is that what it is? I don't know. But and like I said, I'm telling you all this because I whine about something and then I never, and then I leave y'all hanging. Like, it's like a cliffhanger. And then I forget to come back and talk about it, So I see the nurse practitioner at 3. And I'm going to keep my appointment, the scheduled appointment, on the 18th with my cardiologist. What I'm going to ask her, if she's able and if she agrees, to do an EKG and draw some labs. They may not draw labs there. I may have to go out to get them drawn, just to make sure that's all okay. Because maybe it's cardiac, maybe it's patch. I don't know. But at least if we have some lab work, it'll be done by the time I see him next week. The lab results would be in. So I'll see what she says and let her know what all's going on. And I will brace myself for the lecture. I understand it's not a good thing, not a healthy thing, and, blah, blah, blah. And so that's why I say don't do it. Disclaimer, don't do what I say. You do your own research and whatnot. But anyway, so I will talk to her about all that and see what she has to say. But I definitely feel a lot better right now than I did the whole weekend. So we'll see how things go. That's what I know. Again, just wanted to keep you in the loop. Lunch is delicious. And tonight, editing Terri, don't forget, air fry your steak for tomorrow. And don't forget to put in a liner so you don't dirty up your air fryer. So, I'm super excited. I feel so much better mentally. I'm so glad that I went ahead and upped it to 5 because I am feeling better. So my thought process is, wear the 5 for a few weeks. So, I was going to tell you. So whenever I was 340 pounds, I was on metoprolol, a blood pressure medicine. I have always been super sensitive to medication. And so when I came off of the blood pressure medication, I couldn't just cut it in half. I was having these anxious feelings, and so my blood pressure was crazy. And so what my doctor had to do was prescribe, it was 50. So then she had to prescribe, I don't think they made a 37.5. Maybe she had to prescribe that. because I couldn't just break it in half. 25, I was still feeling awful. So it took me 2 months just to get off my regular blood pressure medicine. So I've kind of always been weird, but sometimes I forget it and I'm just like, oh, it'll be fine, blah, 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 blah. It's just been, because I remember I had dabbled with the 3 and then a 5 prior to using the 7 milligram. Anyway, all that to say, I'm feeling so much better today. And I will see the cardiologist and see what she says. And I'm trying not to make this just about that. You know, there's more to life than that. But, you know, when a person goes through something, that's all they think about. But I'll let you know what she says. I love you guys, and I'll see you later. It is such a much, much better day. I'm in such a better headspace today than I was this whole weekend and last week. So, all right, I'll see you. I'm getting ready to go. We're going tomorrow. I'm so excited. That was another thing. I was feeling very anxious and apprehensive about going, but now I'm getting excited. So, okay, bye. Howdy, I'm home. So at church, they are doing they're doing like a volunteer training for those of us who work in the kids' church. They asked us it's like the 27th. They asked us to bring a picture of ourselves in the age range of the kids that we work with. I wonder if this has the year on the back. They used to do that. Hang on. Let's see. 1979. So 9, 8, 7. So, I was 7 years old. I was in first grade. Let me pull this up. Look, that's little Terri. That's little Terri. 7-year-old Terri, 1979. Right? Yeah. 1979. That was little Terri. August. Oh, I thought it said the date. Yeah, anyway. So I pulled this out because I was afraid that I'll forget to do it. So I got my list and stuff in the other room ready to go for, for tomorrow morning. So all the things that I got to do beforehand. Oh, I don't know if we've done this. So today, you are not alone. When the weight of depression, trauma, or heartache feels heavy, know this. You do not carry it by yourself. God promises He will never leave you nor forsake you. Lean into Him. He's right beside you. So yeah, that's our little quote thing for the day from AI. So let's talk about this. Very random. I had bought a couple peppers and I'm like, oh, I need to eat them so they don't go bad. So this is a whole yellow pepper. I like raw peppers. That I wouldn't have made this had I not realized. This is some sliced rutabaga. I microwaved it. About 7-8 minutes. Now pan fried it on each side. So it got brown. And then I put a little nutritional yeast and salt and just a dollop of ketchup on each one. I better have one more of those. I want to make sure there ain't no bugs or something in it. Y'all know I love me some rutabaga. I know there's other things out there. Turnips, by the way. Turnips are a healthier, lower carb option, but I just love the bega. Oh, I got to tell you about the practitioner. Let me get through the food first. This is 2 chicken burgers. I have some salsa, some sour cream, and tomatoes in here with it. This is half of a thing of black raspberry. I have my electrolytes in here. Wait till I get to the creamy. This combo for a creamy. I mean, come on. This is half of a serving of banana keto chow, half of a serving of chocolate peanut butter. I mean, come on now. They have chocolate or bananas you dipped in chocolate or peanut butter bananas. Now I've got it all in one. One more. One more. Man, that's so good. I'd slap you if you were sitting in front of me. Yeah, I would. I go, bam. Hang on. It's what I do. So that's our supper tonight. Like I said, no macros today. Somebody in the break room they were called sugar-free chocolate chip flavored cookies. I had a half of one, probably about like that much of it right there, that much of a cookie. I wanted to try it. So, Cardiologist. Okay, it was the nurse practitioner, so I'm still scheduled to see my actual cardiac doctor next week. So I got there and she did an EKG, and they said my EKG is better than it was whenever I was in the hospital. That's the one she was comparing it to for whatever reason. But whenever they put in my stent, she says better than what it was before they put in my stent. So that's a good news. This is what I told her. I said, I've been having pain. Feels like a squeezing. I said I get anxious and I get hot and a little numbness in my arm. It's worse when I lay on my left side, but it goes away when I lay on my right side. And she said, she was like, no, don't lay on your left side. I'm like, no. She's like, no. She's like, you got 2 stents in there. If you lay on your left side, you're smushing the stents. I'm like, okay. So anyway, so no more laying on your left side, Terry. So I got to work on that. Try to train myself to lay on my right side. She's like, preferably your back, but she's like, but at least not your left side. I'm like, okay. Then I said it has no impact whether I'm active or sitting. It happens both times. I said, and I went for a walk before I came here. I was walking outside today. I said I wanted to make sure that I was able to say that. And so there was no chest pain at all when I was walking. I told her my resting blood pressure is 120s over 80s. And I said, but after it's done and there's no more pain, I get chills. And sometimes I have burping, but not always. And I told her about the nicotine patch that I've been wearing. She said, so they did EKG. She talked about maybe adding another medicine, like a mild nitro blood pressure medicine. But she's like, but if your blood pressure is usually low, we don't want to do it. She's like, but I want to talk about that burping. And I said, well, I added, when did this start? So I told her, and I said, the same time, it's literally the same time when I added beans back. I said, I've not had beans for, I don't know if it's been a full week yet. But anyway, I said, I haven't had any more beans. I said, but I do still have the burping. So she said, this is what I want you to do. You see the doctor next week. She said, I want you to go to Dollar General and get some omeprazole. It's Prilosec, generic Prilosec. She's like, I want you to get the kind that dissolves in your mouth. Don't chew it. She said, if it's designed to dissolve in your mouth, she said what that is little beads. And each bead has like a coating on it that tells it determines how long it takes for that coating to dissipate. Because like it's 24 hours. So she's like, some of the beads have a coating that lasts 24. Some have a bead that's 12, or the coating that's 12. So she's like, each little bead had its own kind of coating on it. I'm like, that's interesting. So she's like, don't chew them. Because she's like, then you're chewing into it. I'm like, all right. So anyway, so she said, stop and get that. She said, if that helps, then, I'll tell that to the doctor next week. But if it keeps up, then... she told me about the ER that's in Branson. She's like, there's a Mercy ER in Branson. I'm like, okay. So anyway, yeah. So she was really nice. We talked about my weight loss, and I told her I eat, meat and veggies. I said it's lean meat. So I'm eating meat and veggies. That's what I eat. So it's not even like I can say, or somebody could say, well, you're eating high fatty foods. Because I'm not. So anyway, it was good. I had chest pain, I think once or twice today. Nothing like the weekend. Oh, you guys. And I didn't bring up the anxiety because I didn't want to steer her one way or another if she sees it, she sees it from a different perspective. I didn't want to guide her one way because without the patch, I was having a lot of anxiety. Y'all, sometimes I just shake my head. I was making out my med list, so thank the good Lord I had this appointment. I was making out my med list, and and I was looking at it. I'm like, wait a minute, where is that? I only take 3 pills in the morning and 3 at night. Why does this say 4? Racking my brain. Do you know what was missing? My Prozac. So I'm like, what the heck? So I called the pharmacy. I'm like, when did I last get the Prozac? They said, you picked it up in February. It was a 3-month prescription. So I ran out in May. Now I remember calling and them saying, nope, you're out of refills, so we'll reach out to your doctor. I remember that. But I never checked back. And they never got back to me. Sorry, I had something on my toe. They never got back to me. So I have not been taking my Prozac since May. So again, I didn't tell her all that because like I said, I didn't want to just be like, and just now. Anyway, I didn't want to tell her all that stuff. Because I have been taking on my cardiac meds. So I was there for cardiac. Y'all, I'm telling you, I think that's about when I started messing with the nicotine patch around May. Because I've been kind of dabbling in about 3 months. All right, May, June, July, August. And so I told Suzanne that, my coworker, and she's like, God let you get on that nicotine because he knew you needed something because you were off the Prozac. Anyway, called my doctor's office. They're going to call it in. I won't have it before I leave, but I've gone this long without it, and I'll still have my patches. It says, like Suzanne. So Suzanne, she's a nurse that I work with, and she's actually going to nurse practitioner school, and she just got out of pharmacology, and she was saying that nicotine is an anti-anxiety medication. Or is anti-anxiety. So, a nicotine patch has been saving me because of my ding-dong self not having the Prozac. I tell you, the Lord looks out for us dummies. So, having this chest pain sent me to the doctor, cardiologist, and helped me find out I wasn't even on Prozac all this time. Y'all, I'm a nut job sometimes. Anyway, I love me, and you love me. So, all right, I'm going to let you people go. I'm going to eat. I ain't a whole lot left to eat, as I've been eating this whole time. But I'm going to eat and watch some videos, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.